At the start of the drama, we are shown a high school in Bangkok, where the female lead, Gorya, is sitting in class studying. Just then, a girl named Hana approaches her. She tells Gorya, "I came from abroad today." Gorya then tells her, "I am here on a scholarship." Hana asks, "Can we be friends?" Gorya agrees. Then Hana says, "Would you like to give any advice to a new student like me?" Gorya says, "New students are harassed here." One of the new students receives a red card, and then this news is sent to all students via a message. The student whose locker has the red card is bullied by the entire school. Kids take their phone and run away. Hana asks, "Don't even the teachers stop them?" Gorya replies, "No one can stop them, not even the school director." The student with the red card is forced to go to the stadium, where that student is hit. In the next scene, F4 makes their entrance, and all the girls are happy to see them. Gorya and Hana also arrive there. The F4 leader, Time, takes a mobile from a student and says, "Do you want to ruin the school's reputation?" The student replies, "With the videos I have made, your truth will be exposed to everyone." Time says, "Are you talking about these videos?" The student sees that all the videos have disappeared. Time says, "Nothing is difficult for us." Then that student punches Time, so Time starts hitting him too. One of the F4 members doesn't like this fight, so he gets up and leaves. Seeing all this, Gorya gets angry. She goes to the terrace and starts shouting, "This school only looks good from the outside, but it's rotten on the inside." An F4 member hears everything she says and smiles. In the next scene, Gorya goes to her part-time job. Her uncle says, "I don't believe your F4 story. I found out that the F4 guys are very nice. Their leader, Time, who belongs to a business family, is sharp in both studies and sports." Gorya says, "I don't know how he passes without attending classes." The second one is MJ, who is a cool bad boy and is mostly found in bars. Gorya says MJ is a mafia. Then there's Kevin, whose family has a healthcare business. Gorya says he is a playboy. He likes to flirt with girls. And finally, there is Ren, who is the son of a famous businessman in Thailand. Gorya says he is different from the other F4 members, but they don't stop each other from doing anything wrong. They all belong to rich families, so they lead the school by giving donations. After this, Gorya is shown with her family, where her mom says, "We are very happy that our daughter studies in such a big school. Who knows, maybe some handsome and rich boy will approach you there." Then we are shown a girl, Mira, who, to encourage the students, says, "Forget your status and follow your dream." Gorya says, "I followed Mira's advice and got admission in this school, but there is nothing special about it." On the other hand, Hana tells Gorya, "I don't like students being bullied like this either, but thank you so much for telling me everything. Otherwise, I might have gotten into trouble too." Gorya says, "We will only concentrate on our studies." Hana agrees to this, but as she is about to go outside, she bumps into Time, causing her noodles to fall on Time's shoes. Time says to Hana, "Is this your way of flirting with boys?" Hana apologizes to him and says, "I didn't do it on purpose. I will get you new shoes." He says, "These came from Paris. Can you afford them?" MJ then says, "Don't scare such a cute girl." Hana requests, "Please forgive me. I will do whatever you say." All the students say, "Clean his shoes with your tongue." Time then says, "You can do that. If you do it, I will forgive you." All the students start clapping. Gorya gets angry, comes to Time and says, "She didn't do it on purpose, so please forgive her." Time asks, "Are you giving me an order?" Gorya denies it. Time says, "All right, I accept your order." And he says to Hana, "You are lucky to have a friend like her." Then he leaves from there. The next day, there is a red card in Gorya's locker. Seeing this, Gorya makes an excuse of being unwell and goes to the school doctor. Two other students also arrive there to bother her. While the doctor is checking them, Gorya runs away, but the students throw water on her. Then she goes to the rooftop and starts shouting. Ren tells her, "It was very quiet here before you came." Then some girls arrive there, so Ren grabs her and hides her. Those girls ask Ren, "Did you see a girl?" Ren lies, "No." After they leave, he says to Gorya, "You can stay here until school is over," but without shouting. Then she stays hidden there until night. At night, when she comes to get her things from the locker, some boys come and start harassing her and making a video of her. Just then, Ren arrives and says to those boys, "Leave." Gorya is crying, so Ren tells her, "Go home." She says, "Those boys must be waiting outside." So Ren sets off the fire alarm with a lighter. He then tells Gorya, "Now you are safe," because the alarm scared those boys away. Coming home, Gorya locks herself in her room, but her mom opens the door, comes in, and asks her, "What happened?" Gorya says, "I don't want to study in this school." Her mom says, "You are very strong. Your future is in your hands, so just think about handsome and rich boys." Gorya says, "Money is not everything." Her mom replies, "With money, you will get a better life." Meanwhile, Time thinks, "Why did Ren help that girl?" MJ says, "You have never given a red card to a girl before. You should end all this right here." Just then, the maid comes and says to Time, "Your mom has returned from Singapore," so Time leaves. Time's mom is a famous businesswoman. She says to Time, I heard you created a problem at school. You can't even handle school. How will you handle the business? On the other side, we see Gorya's mom has bought new shoes for her. Her dad puts the shoes on her and says, now all your problems will be solved because good shoes will bring you good luck. The next day, when Gorya goes to school in her new shoes, something falls on them while she is getting something from her locker. She takes off the shoe to clean it, and some students take it and run away. Then Gorya goes towards the stadium, where Time is also present. He cuts Gorya's shoe and throws it in the dustbin. Gorya gets very angry, takes the shoe out of the dustbin, and puts it on. Time comes to her and says, you'll still wear them? Gorya gives him a powerful kick, sending him flying. She tells him, you want me to give up, but I will not give up and will keep fighting you. Then this video goes viral on social media. A little later, MJ and Kevin receive a message from Time, which says, I will be late for school today. Meanwhile, when Gorya leaves for school, some people kidnap her. Gorya thinks, everyone is going to do something bad to me. But those people start doing her makeup and then leave her in a room. Time arrives there and says, smile a little. I've spent $5 million on you. Then he gives her a car key and says, from tomorrow, don't go by bus. Take this car. Gorya asks him, what do you want? Why are you doing all this? Time says, record a video of you apologizing to me, and all these things will be yours. Gorya says, why should I apologize? You should apologize to me. And as for your expensive things, I don't want any of them. My self-respect is more important to me. As Gorya starts to leave, Time forcibly grabs her and says, record the video, but Gorya hits him and runs away. But Time catches her and says, tell me, how much money do you want? 15 million? Or 20 million? I will give you as much as you want. While they are fighting, Time's mom arrives. She has the guards throw Gorya out of the house. In the next scene, when Gorya comes to school, the kids have written very nasty things about her on the board. At that moment, a message arrives on her mobile that says, Gorya has more than 10 boyfriends. Gorya gets so angry that she goes straight from the class to the rooftop and starts shouting. The next day, when Hana opens her locker, there is a red card inside. Everyone grabs her and takes her to the stadium. Time is about to cut her hair with a razor. Just then, Gorya arrives. Gorya says to Time, if you have a problem with me, why are you harassing my friend? Time comes to her and says, if you cut your hair, I will let you all go. Gorya goes to him and says, you are a spoiled brat. She is about to cut her hair when Ren arrives, and Gorya is saved. On the other hand, we see Time, who is very angry because Gorya's supporters were increasing on social media. The next day, when Gorya comes to school, the same girls come to her and apologize, saying, you are a hero in everyone's eyes. We made a big mistake by supporting F4. Gorya forgives them. Those girls tell her, Mira is coming back from France tomorrow, and a party has been arranged for her arrival. You should come to the party too. Gorya says, I don't have a dress for the party. The girls say, you can come wearing anything casual. Anyway, we're all going in casuals. On the other side, the 4 boys have come to pick up Mira from the airport. As soon as Mira arrives, Ren runs and hugs her. Meanwhile, Gorya and Kaning have arrived at the party. Just then, the same girls come and start making fun of Gorya's clothes. Gorya asks them, what do you guys want? Those girls say, you are not on our level. We know you are deliberately flirting with Ren, but Ren has a better girlfriend than you who looks more beautiful. Saying this, they drop a plate on her. Just then, Ren comes and gives her his hanky, saying, you can clean your dress. Seeing all this, Mira gets so angry that she takes a champagne bottle and throws it at those girls. Mira takes Gorya to her room. Mira tells her, Ren has told me everything about you. Maybe he likes you. Gorya says jokingly, he's your boyfriend, isn't he? Mira asks, who said that? Gorya says, everyone says so. Mira says, I saw that video where you hit Time. Even I don't have the courage to do that. In the next scene, Mira gives Gorya a good makeover and takes her to the party. Ren comes to her and says, you look very beautiful. Seeing all this, Time gets so angry that he asks Ren, I gave this girl a red card, so why are you still helping her? Mira intervenes and tries to explain to Time, but Time pushes her as well. Seeing this, Ren gets so angry that he starts hitting Time. They fight for a long time. Meanwhile, Gorya goes to stop Time, but she falls directly onto him, and they accidentally kiss. In the next scene, Time tells his friends, Gorya kissed me on purpose. He continues, I understand what type of girl Gorya is. She wants me to chase her, and I can handle a girl like that very easily. Both of them say to him, apologize to Ren. Time says, why should I apologize? He will apologize because it was his fault. If he doesn't apologize, I will never talk to him again. On the other hand, Mira says to Ren, you two still fight like children. You used to fight like this in childhood too. Do you want Time to say sorry to you? Ren says, he will never say sorry. In childhood, I always had to be the one to go and apologize, but now he has to understand. Then he asks, what are you going to do after graduation? Mira says, I have something to tell you. The next day, Gorya goes to the rooftop to return Ren's hanky, but she doesn't find him there. After coming down, Kevin tells her, Ren is at Mira's house at the moment, so she goes to his house. But suddenly, it starts to rain, After reaching the house, she sees Ren and Mira having an argument. Mira tells Ren, I have made my decision. I will now stay in France. I have to fulfill my dream. Ren says, you are leaving everyone here, including me. You know about my feelings. In the next scene, when Gorya is going to school by bus, she sees Time there. She asks him, what are you doing here? Time says, I wanted to experience sitting on a bus. Seeing the bus empty, Gorya asks him, where did everyone go? Time shouts, I bought this bus. Gorya is about to shout at him. Then Gorya runs and says to him, stop the bus. Time says, what is your problem? Gorya again says to him, stop the bus. But Time wasn't letting the bus stop. Just then, a car suddenly comes in front of the bus. The bus stops, and Gorya gets out. When Time comes after her, a girl comes and kicks him hard in the face. This girl's name is Tia, and she is Time's older sister. She says to Time, why are you harassing this girl? She has Gorya sit in her car, gives her card and says, you can call me whenever you want. Tia says to Time, I know you are not a bad person. Stop bothering that girl. Time asks, why have you come back here? Tia explains, Mom has given me an urgent task. She is going to expand her business throughout Asia. Nothing will be the same as before. So, you should grow up too. The next day, when she goes to the rooftop, Ren is not there. But then, suddenly, Ren comes from behind. Gorya asks him, are you okay? Ren says, since childhood, I have been very close to Mira. When Mira makes a decision, no one can change it. I always thought I would be with her, but now the time has come for me to move on. He adds, Mira has invited you to her house to give you a gift. Time is watching both of them together. Ren takes Gorya to Mira's house. Mira gifts her the same sandals that she had Gorya wear at the party. Inside her room, Gorya sees many childhood photos of F4. Then she gets on her knees and says to Mira, I can't see Ren sad, so please don't leave. Mira says, what I am about to do will bring a smile to many people's faces. And anyway, Ren is strong. He can take care of himself. And I know that you like Ren. Please stay just the way you are. Ren is watching all this from outside. When Gorya starts to leave, Ren comes to her and says, did I ask you to go and request Mira? You have no right to make decisions about my life. Gorya pushes him and says, have you ever thought about your own feelings? You gave up without even trying. Ren says, what can I do? Gorya says, when Mira can fight so much for her dreams, why can't you? You should try a lot for Mira, but you are not doing anything. In the next scene, everyone has come to see Mira off, but Ren is not there. A little later, Gorya also arrives. Mira hugs her and leaves, but then we see Ren coming from behind. Gorya says to Ren, are you still not going to do anything? Ren shows his passport and says, I am also going to France. Whatever the result, I will definitely try. Ren kisses Gorya on the forehead and says, you are the one who motivated me. Time says, how can you do this? You didn't even tell me before leaving. We have been friends since childhood, and you are leaving without telling me. Ren says, take care of yourself. Time shouts, I haven't even said sorry to you yet. Ren says, there's no need for that. He hugs Time and says, if you have any problem, let me know. The next day, Gorya and Hana are having lunch when some girls come to bother Gorya and say, now Ren is not here to save you either. Just then, Time suddenly appears on the display screen and makes an announcement. Gorya is completely shocked. He says, come to the clock tower at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Gorya, that's all I had to say. Hana says, did Time ask you out on a date? Gorya says, this must be a new way to trouble me. On the other hand, Time is waiting for Gorya near the clock tower. When Gorya reaches the clock tower, she sees Time getting drenched in the rain. Gorya gives Time an umbrella. Time throws the umbrella away and says, I have never waited for anyone in my life. Gorya says, did I ask you to wait for me? And you could have stood somewhere else to avoid the rain. You are an idiot. Time says, you are an idiot. And like this, they both start fighting. Due to getting drenched in the rain, Time falls ill, so Gorya gives him her towel. After that, Gorya also takes him to a restaurant for dinner. But seeing the prices there, she runs away. Gorya says, let's go somewhere else. Time says, I am very hungry. If you don't pay, I will pay myself. But just then, the door there closes. Gorya shouts loudly, but no one comes to open the door. Her phone is broken, and Time's phone battery is also dead. When Time comes to Gorya, she sees that he has a very high fever. So Gorya forcibly gives him medicine and takes care of him by applying a cold compress. Time asks Gorya about her family. Gorya says, we are very poor, and everyone must be worried that I am not home at this time. Gorya asks Time about his family, and Time says, my family doesn't care. It doesn't affect them no matter how many days I am missing. Gorya asks, why do you give people red cards and trouble them? Time says, from today, I am canceling the red card for you. Then Time gets up to check if Gorya is sleeping or not. And then he goes back and sleeps at her feet. Just then, a lady arrives. So they both run away from there. In the next scene, Time comes to drop Gorya home and asks, did you go on a date with F4? Gorya says, "You can't call that a date." Time asks her, "Do you want to go out again?" But Gorya refuses. While she is going inside, someone is clicking Gorya's pictures. When Gorya goes inside, everyone asks, "Where were you so early in the morning?" Her dad is hiding something. Gorya asks, "What happened?" Her mom explains, "Your dad has taken a loan from someone and didn't tell us about it." When Gorya hears the amount, she is shocked because it is quite large. When she checks her passbook, she finds that she doesn't have much money in her account. So she goes to the people from whom her dad had taken the loan. Gorya says, "I only have a little money right now, I will give the rest later." The man there suggests, "We have an easy way to earn money." They make her wear a costume and sit her with some people. One of the customers there tries to get close to Gorya, so she gives him a kick, sending him flying, and says to the men there, "Tell your boss, I will find another way to repay the money. I don't want to do this useless work." The next day, Hana comes and shows her a video in which Gorya was with Time when he went to drop her home. Hana asks her, "Are you dating Time?" Gorya denies it. Just then, Time arrives and says, "Does anyone have a problem if Gorya and I are dating?" He adds, "And anyway, I have cancelled Gorya's red card." Then it goes viral throughout the school that Gorya and Time are hanging out together, and everyone starts taking their photos. Kevin stops her and says, "There's no need to be afraid of us." MJ asks Time, "Did you two really go on a date?" Gorya is about to say no when Time says, "Tell the truth." Gorya says, You forcibly took me on a date." After Gorya leaves, Kevin asks Time, "Are you really serious about Gorya? You two are very different, and your family will never agree. You know your mom forced your sister into a marriage, and doing all this could get you into trouble too." Time says, "I will definitely give it a try," and saying that, he leaves. On the other hand, the maid sees the towel that Gorya had given. Gorya's dad is fixing her phone. Just then, the doorbell rings. Gorya opens the door to find Time standing outside. Gorya tells him to go home. When her dad hears the name Time, he is shocked, and then everyone together takes care of Time. They feed him, where everyone is asked to tell their sad story. Gorya says, "My story is the saddest. I have to bear my own expenses along with my studies. On top of that, my family has such a huge debt." Time explains, "My life is quite good. No one talks to us at the dinner table. We remain completely silent while eating. Conversation only happens there when business needs to be discussed. Other than that, there is no conversation. In my house, food is made with top ingredients, but today's dinner was the tastiest in the world." The next day, when Gorya goes to school, everyone is looking at some pictures. These are the same pictures from when Gorya went to the bar. Gorya is shocked to see the photos, and at that very moment, Time arrives there. He asks Gorya, "What is all this?" Gorya says, "This is not true. Someone is trying to frame me." Time says, "Do I look stupid to you? I can see all the photos clearly. I thought you were a good girl." Then, showing a photo, he asks, "This is you, isn't it?" Gorya says yes. Hearing this, Time gets very angry, tears up the photo right there, and leaves. All the students in the school are saying very nasty things to Gorya. On the other hand, MJ says, "I think Gorya is telling the truth." Kevin says, "We need to find out who is doing all this." On the other side, we see Time, who is sitting very sadly. MJ asks him, "Did you really believe those photos?" But Time says nothing. Meanwhile, Kevin asks the girls at the club, "Is there any CCTV camera here?" The girls say, "Everything is kept secret here." Kevin shows them the same photos and asks, "How did all these photos leak out?" The girl says, "I don't know anything." When the club's boss finds out that this is Kevin, he is shocked. Kevin asks the club owner about the photos. The owner is not willing to say anything. He says, "We didn't do anything." Kevin says, "Tell the truth, it's for your own good. If my family gets involved in this, you all will be in big trouble." In the same bar are Time and MJ. Hana also arrives there. She is behaving very strangely. MJ sees her. She mixes something in a drink and takes it to Time. Time drinks it. Then Hana notices that even while sleeping, Time was saying Gorya's name. Hearing this, Hana gets very angry. The next day, when Gorya comes to school, a girl breaks her chair. She says, "You did not do right by Time." Everyone says, "Her red card has been cancelled. Don't do this to her." The girl says, "She has messed with our Time. We won't let her go like this." Then she says, "I will get permission for this from Time himself." She then messages Time about the red card. The reply comes, "Do it." This message was not sent by Time, but by Hana. Meanwhile, all the girls turn Gorya's bag upside down. Just then, they find a key inside the bag. Gorya says, "This is my friend's bike key, please don't do anything to it," but they all break the bike together. In the next scene, Kevin goes to MJ and tells him the club owner's name. MJ says, "Maybe we've heard this name before." Then Kevin asks about Time. MJ says, "Yesterday he was with a girl. After that, I don't know where he went. When I messaged him, he replied, 'I am at home.'" Kevin asks about the girl. MJ reveals Gorya's friend Hana. She's one thing at school but something else in reality. Then they both investigate Hana. They find out that Hana is the club owner's daughter. When Time wakes up, he asks, "How did I get here?" Hana says, "You fainted, so I brought you here." When he moves the curtain, seeing the Ferris wheel reminds him of Gorya. Hana says, "Forget Gorya." He asks, "Where is my phone?" Hana says, "Gorya is not worthy of you. I made a lot of effort to be worthy of you. I have even done research on you." Time asks, "Who are you?" Hana says, "We have met before." Then a flashback scene shows when they were both little. Back then, Hana liked Time, but Time rejected her, calling her ugly. She explains, "For Time, I worked hard to change myself. I even got plastic surgery." She continues, "To get your attention, I bumped into you, but your focus was only on Gorya. I tried my best to defame her, but you are still saying her name." Time asks, "Why did you do all this?" Hana says, "I love you." Time says, "You should hate me, not love me." Time says, "I will choose Gorya. No matter how much you change yourself, you can never become Gorya." Then Hana, showing his phone, says, "What if Gorya is out of the way?" Time, alarmed, asks, "What have you done?" He asks for his phone, but Hana doesn't give it to him. Then Hana threatens him, "I will hurt myself and all the blame will come on you." Time tells her, "Don't," but she was not ready to listen. Time stops her and says, "You should first love yourself." On the other hand, everyone has broken Gorya's bike and phone. Then they set the bike on fire. A boy is about to hit Gorya, but just then Time arrives and starts beating everyone up. Gorya feels dizzy, so he picks her up and says, "I'm sorry I'm late. I trust you."